Hello boys and girls. We are going to be forming cursive letters that start with a short upswing. A short upswing starts at the baseline and pulls up to the midpoint. The midpoint is the imaginary line between the top line and the baseline. Let's get started. Our first letter we're going to write is E. You start at the baseline, short upswing to the midpoint, pull back to form a narrow loop that finishes with a tiny upswing, cursive E. I starts with a short upswing, pull up to the midpoint, retrace back down, finish with a tiny upswing. Lift your pencil and dot your I. J starts with a short upswing, pull up to the midpoint, pull back down, pull forward to form a narrow loop that crosses at the midpoint, crosses at the baseline, finish with a tiny upswing. That's J. U starts with a short upswing, pull back down to the baseline, up and around, back up to the midpoint, retrace back down to the baseline, finish with a tiny upswing. That's U. W, short upswing to the midpoint, pull back down to the baseline, back up to the midpoint after you round at the baseline, retrace back down and round again, pull in once you get to the midpoint slightly, finish with a tiny dip. It's W. Y, short upswing, retrace, round at the baseline, back up to the midpoint, retrace back down, pull forward to form a narrow loop that crosses at the baseline, finish with a tiny upswing. And there you have it. Our letters that start with a short upswing. C can also short upswing to 2. So that upswing was like this. Upswing curve to 2. Remember 2 on the clock. So here's a clock face. This would be 12, this would be 1, and this would be 2. So I curved to 2. Great job.